Rambro back with some Grand Tactician Civil War, CSA campaign, in version 1.06 of the game, which is the live version as I record. It is not a beta. And here we are. We've got another battle in Missouri. Sterling Price against George Morrell yet again, except this time Morrell has got another army reinforcing him. He's brought the Army of the Mississippi with him. He's got about, what is that, about 33,000 men. And we've got 18. So not quite, but almost 2-to-1 odds. And the last time we had odds like that against Morrell, if I remember correctly, it didn't go so hot for us. However, this time around, Sterling Price, his infantry are all rifle armed, no muskets. He does have one good unit, which is on replenishment right now. But in any case, let's just hop in here and have a quick look at the map. I am 99.9% sure it's going to be the Wilson's Creek map, and I hope that we are in a defensive situation. $33,000 men versus 18. Yeah. Okay, it is a defensive situation. The objective is here. What is that? What's that called? Skeg. For some reason, the armies have determined that the Skeg house is of massive importance. Okay. Well, we've got a deployment zone all the way over here. Yep. Coming down the wire road. Standard. What about a defensive situation? Well, he's got multiple routes he could come. This route right down the middle is the most obvious one. But if we go and put a bunch of parapets and stuff all through here, he'll likely try to get around it. That is one thing that the enemy does do in this game, and should. You know, it's legitimate. I'm kind of thinking what if we set up behind, just behind the objective, like along like this, kind of in here, with this creek in front of us? You know, not actually block the objective itself. But if we set up a line of entrenchments about along in here. Now, if I do that, he is going to come this way and take us in the flank, and he's going to have a lot of open ground. But the AI in this game does better when they don't have broken terrain to deal with. That's actually it was kind of over in this area where we had that backfire on us in a previous battle. So I don't think that's the right way to go. But there's multiple ways he can get you know, if I try to cover all of these crossings along Wilson's Creek itself, that's going to spread Price's 8 infantry brigades a little too thin. I don't know. option 3 would be set up here and just take all that guesswork out of the equation. How does this terrain look defensively? I think it kind of has the same issues in that we can kind of anchor our defense with woods on either side. However, all in here, we give him that open ground to maneuver in and kind of get himself all set up and make a really strong attack. I don't think that's a great idea either. In any case, let me have a think about this, and I'll get set up at one of these spots, and I'll be back. Right, so this is what I decided I'm going to try here. A pattern that has emerged, that what I think happens about Fog of War in this game is many times one will read statements in forums, comments, whatever, that the AI doesn't have Fog of War. They know where you are. I have seen enough battles, and occasionally over time in my various series I've mentioned this, where, well, it sure doesn't look like the AI was omniscient in this battle, because clearly he had no idea where my units were. And then other times it looks like, well, yeah, they knew exactly where you were. The difference, I think, and we saw this in the last battle, I don't think the AI necessarily has 100% vision on player units. But it sure looks like they have that lack of Fog of War when it comes to fortifications. Okay, parapets and breastworks, they know where they are, and they're going to go somewhere else. And we saw that in the last battle. We had fortifications set up over here, and they came down this track over here to come up and flank us from the south. So I am going to try to take that into account. So the idea here is that Morel, he knows these parapets are here. Okay, so we are denying this crossing, and he's going to want to go somewhere else. Now, last time, the objective was down here somewhere, in this area, and he elected to come down and come back up at us from this direction. This time, the objective is here. And with this creek here, and the nice ground back here for the artillery, I think this is where I want to defend. But if I go put a bunch of breastworks and parapets over here, that ain't going to happen. So what I'm going to do is leave this open, put these kind of, you know, he's not going to attack this, nor should he. But by denying this, I further encourage him to come over here and try to cross to the objective right about here at the Skeg place. So I've got most of my forces over here. My idea is, once time starts rolling, that reigns in, let him keep moving, right? We'll have Marmaduke over here. Maybe this time I'll remember he exists. And actually use him later in the battle. But let's make sure that he makes this, that he doesn't make this turn and comes on down here past the Ray and Win place. And then, once it's it's pretty apparent that he's committed, then we're going to run these brigades up in here and throw up breastworks. And then by the time that the Union gets over here, I think those breastworks will be done. And they can be screened during their construction by putting skirmishers all along this creek line to keep them busy. I've got Slack's Napoleons up here. And then Pierce, his 1 howitzer battery, is covering this. And then just in case that they do decide, hey, let's go throw ourselves into the strong entrenchments, I do have 1 howitzer battery here to help out Pillow's division, if needed, until the other guys can come over here. But what I hope occurs is that they come on over here. We'll have a nice defensive position in here, and I'm going to try to angle it such that, you know, Rains is about like this, Pierce is about like this, artillery here kind of in the crook of the V, set back a little bit, and let's see if 30,000, you know, it's still almost 2 to 1, right? This is not at all a slam dunk. We'll see if 33,000 Federals can make it across this creek under artillery fire. You know, I may just take these Napoleons and put them on bombard, just right here. And we'll see how that goes. And then once they're committed to that, then Pillow can bring his division over to help, either coming over here on the flank, or maybe it'll be open enough in here where he can actually cross his guys to the other side of this creek and be able to flank. We'll have to see how it goes. That may be a little dicey, because once he's over, he's kind of committed, and then he'll kind of be stuck on the other side with 33,000 angry Federals. We'll just play it by ear. All right, so there's a good bit of scouting to be done, some breastwork building maybe, and I don't know. It is only 7 o'clock in the morning, so this could very well start turning into a battle this afternoon. But when stuff starts happening, I'll be back. Yep, Marmaduke came up here to his little spying position to look at this intersection, and they are blowing on right past it. There's more than 2 units here. Some of them are kind of out of vision or on top of each other. There's at least 4 brigades that have passed the intersection, and I don't expect these others to do any different. So they're going to come to the wind place regardless. The next spot to have a look is, what do they do when they get to this ford? Or do they turn up this way to cross over here? So there's still some uncertainty, but what they're not doing is coming down here and flanking us on the east or south. Okay. So no matter what happens, it looks pretty clear that the attack might come here, but more likely is going to come over here much closer to the Skeg place where the objective is. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and get these brigades over here putting up some breastworks. And then let's get, okay, Marmaduke has told us what we need to know over here. So let's bring him back down. Use some waypoints, and let's get him over here. And that way, if he's a little bit closer, he'll still be on the screen, and I'll remember he's still there. Also, we can put some skirmishers out from Pillow's division just to get up in here and provide us a little bit more vision on what exactly they're doing. Let's do that too. I think 2 will be enough from Ross and Stevenson's brigades. And all right, more scouting to do, more breastwork building, and I will be back. Federals did not take the right turn here to come cross up here. They're headed right for this location. This is where they're going to cross Wilson's Creek, whatever else happens. Just using skirmishers to delay them right up in here. I'm not looking to make this the focus of the battle. I'm just delaying them to give these divisions over here time to complete their breastworks. Looks like they've pretty much done what they can do. I'm going to go ahead and pull at least that skirmisher in. These guys, Ross, the skirmishers are doing fine here. They've inflicted 50 casualties on those skirms. That's quite a lot for a picket detachment. He's only taken 12 himself. I got him laying down. Oops, Stevenson's skirmishes may break after all. They were kind of caught there. Okay. I'm not looking to get Marmaduke engaged yet. Just ease on back. Yeah, those skirmishers routed after all. Come on, Marmaduke, get a move on. This may have kind of... They may be trying to go against these entrenchments after all. Let's see how that works out. Or they may just be reacting to Marmaduke's presence. I'm just going to go ahead and tell them to come all the way back to here for now. Okay. Ross's skirms are almost out of ammo. Come on back. They're about to take artillery fire anyway. Marmaduke, you're killing me, bro. Come on. Come on. Alright. Okay, our line is just about done over here. Right in here, this is the spot that I bet they're probably going to want to hit. But they got to go through some woods and cross a creek to get across here. By then, I think we will have been able to bring some of Pillow's brigades over, kind of get them in these woods up here. We'll see how it works out. They're kind of looking like they want to come straight at the parapets. Well, come on down. Nothing would suit me more. George Morrell. Okay. So we'll let them further develop what they want to do there, and I'll be back. Okay. So this is looking more and more like, yeah, they're going to come right into the parapets. That's sure what it looks like. which is a pleasant surprise, to be honest. So that's the good news. The bad news is artillery's out of position now. If they're not coming this way, and at least Reigns just wasn't in a place where he was going to do any good. So limbering up Slack's Napoleons over here, and I'm going to bring them over about here, I guess. Set them back in this field where they can fire over. Moving this howitzer battalion to about here. We can fire in this direction. And I'm moving Reigns' division back over to this position on Pillow's flank. And they're coming right ahead. I mean, yeah, the battle's pretty much starting now. So Pillow's in a great position over here, but he doesn't have a whole lot of support at the moment. More is coming. Make sure all these brigades are on long range. Yes. Yes. And yes. Skirms here, skirms here, skirms here. And Mulder's just kind of in a position here to... He may have an opportunity later to do something effective over in this area. Right now he's just hanging out in the woods, trying to stay unspotted, waiting for his moment. And all the other division skirms, I've got them coming down here. These two skirms are just kind of getting here into the creek in front of, hopefully, Reigns' position here on the left flank. And all these guys' skirms, I've got them kind of coming out here in a line kind of like this. And I'm just going to send them in just to disrupt them from the flank. Keep them all discombobulated rather than do any real damage per se. Uh-oh. That is not the right way to go. What are you doing? Okay, we need to stop. Slacks. I mean, that is obviously... Yeah, I can't wait for that. I need to... Cavender. Let's give him a direct stop. That should be faster. That should be faster. Okay, looks like he caught him. Now. Bring him to here. If I give him I should have given him a waypoint on the last one. Will that work? Well, who knows if that artillery is ever going to get in action. Just go down, lay these skirmishers down. Just want them delaying. Going to be able to see from here. Let's move this artillery up. This. Well, I've stopped them from taking the dumb route, but they didn't really get the next movement order. I'll just do it battery by battery. Come here first. Just get them over here, and then I'll fiddle with their positions. Okay, that looks all right. Okay, Rains is getting his guys in place, and let's go ahead and unlimber this battery or battalion. See how we can do. Mouse keeps wanting to turn and fire. That's fine as long as he doesn't get that flanking debuff. It's only 1,300 men there. Okay, artillery's moving. Now what I think I want to do, the way this is shaping up, let's get Pierce's division on the other side of the creek. Back over here. They're not going to get in trouble. Hopefully they're far enough away where they actually don't get spotted making that move. Feet. What's that about? Oh, his morale is much higher. That's primarily because we're fighting in Missouri. It's a Union state. It'll be fine. Casualty ratio is going fantastic. Here we go. It's a Bram pain. It's a Bram campaign. Therefore, the cavalry is going to be dismounted. I can hear the disturbance in the force now. Bring the comments. You always dismount your cavalry. Yeah. I do. Often. When they're actually fighting, especially against infantry. Why is that, Bram? Because when cavalry are mounted, they take a reload debuff. They fire slower. And when they're mounted, they are more prone to taking casualties. They'll take fewer casualties and they'll fire faster being dismounted. That's why. There is a perk. There's a mounted fire perk. I don't remember the name of it. But you can take a perk for mounted fire that reduces the reload penalty from firing mounted. And then, but it's still there. It just reduces, and then tier 2 it reduces more, and then at tier 3, only when that perk reaches tier 3 do they fire as fast mounted as they do dismounted. At least that's the way the perk descriptions read. Yeah, I think it's time for Clark's boys to come on in. And to further decrease the amount of casualties he's going to take, I'm going to put Marmaduke in loose order. Which I probably should have done before I gave him that advance order. Okay. Reigns has his guys in place. I want them to keep forest cover. Let's see if Hayes will still have forest cover from here. These lead federal elements aren't doing that great. Should be kept in mind, there are 2 federal armies. So this might be Morrell's army, but the Army of the Mississippi, have we seen? They may not be on the field, and they may not have arrived yet. And when they do arrive, they don't have to come in at a federal-owned location. They might be coming here. They might be coming here. Okay. Well, if nothing else, Marmaduke is keeping these guys busy. And over here, we're just basically... Okay, so we need to bring skirms in just for ammo. Well, I'm not going to do that yet. He's not taking a lot of casualties. And he's keeping these guys occupied, even with low ammo. Once they come in, these units are too close now. Ross will not be able to put skirms back out to the abattis. And Stevenson's detachment would not be able to come back right here by this fort. As long as they stay here, they are blocking their parent brigade's fire for the moment, but they're also keeping them from being fired upon as well. It's just slowly developing. .1,200 men here. They've already taken 300 casualties. About the same, but unit for unit should have a... And these musketoons, 2.5 rounds a minute. You know what? Marmaduke is just kind of keeping these guys occupied, not doing anything else. He's not taking fire. But he's still keeping this brigade occupied. Interestingly, the fact that they're not firing indicates that this is probably a musket-armed brigade. Otherwise, they'd be shooting at him. Okay, who is this artillery firing at? see anybody. He still has some cover here. Don't see anybody with the taking artillery fire debuff. Okay. Here's his across. Let's get him up in these woods. Let's get this skirmisher line out in front of him. Okay, let's pull the skirmishers in. They've done a fine job. So now we've got... keep forgetting who this is. Now we got Rain's division in position now to help out on this flank. $1,390 casualties. This is very much going in our favor. Let's go to 2x. Good luck coming across if you want there, Mr. Cav. I think he's, yeah, he wants to come across. It's probably a bad idea on his part. What do we got over here anyway? Yeah. Okay, so Ross has Springfield rifles, and Stevenson has got planes. We have artillery coming over here. Okay, artillery's finally getting in place. Not really in place so much as just somewhere where they may be able to shoot. Is this guy getting any shots? No. It may just be a range thing. It's howitzers. Just bring him here. That looks somewhat safe. At least Porter Alexander is getting some shots. Yeah, that Cav, that may had enough of that. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Come on in behind him there. A little Cav flanking action, even though they're dismounted. Probably should have waited until he was actually engaged. Alright, so now Butterfield wants to cross the ford. I don't know, Butterfield, that may not be a great idea. You want to rethink that. I wonder if Clark can get his Mississippis if he changes facing on Butterfield. It's a bad idea, Butter. doing here. Well, he's not trying to attack the trenches. He wanted to just go this way for some reason. Are they already retreating? I mean, yeah, the casualties are looking bad for them, but they're at 5% casualties with the needle right dead center. It has barely tipped over into minor victory for us because of the casualty disparity, but he's still well above 60 from morale. Well, until that rout happened. I guess this might be it. Okay, let's come bring these Napoleons up. Let's get one here. Let's get one right about here. And where's Slack? Ah. Lane's got targets now. He's got this target. So he's fine for the moment. Ross is doing fine. He's kind of cockeyed. Let's sure we can get Stevenson to fire without bringing him out of the parapets. And he might get all discombobulated maneuvering in here, so Ross is doing fine, just the way it is. Well, except he's a little low on ammo. Only for ammo purposes. There's no... His morale is fine. He's taken very, very few casualties. But let's just relieve him in line for ammo. Oh, Hayes has picked up a perk. Let's do a perk check here. Hayes was a newer brigade, I think. Ross. Stevenson's perked up. I know Clark is, yeah. Okay. I think Hayes was probably the only brigade in this army that didn't have a perk yet. Let's see if I make a liar out of myself here. Nah. Great. All right, Hayes. No, don't go that way. What are you doing? He's getting a little confused by that building being there, I think. Go ahead and put some skirms out just to keep that brigade occupied while you get into your parapet. Oh, he already had skirms out. Oops. They were over here. So I just pulled them in. That's fine. Well, he's not getting... Unlimber. Limber. Can you reach? Not really. He's got the range, but he doesn't have the line of sight to hit that battery. Firing. Firing. Not really firing. Okay. Well, welcome. Up. About to get. Hold on. Marmaduke's about to get in trouble over here. Well, there's a whole mess of Federals over here. I kind of didn't see. All right. Mount up. Fagan, get over here. Yeah, they're not retreating. They are reorienting their position. That is what is going on. Let's just get Marmaduke over to this side of the creek before I mess up and get him in trouble. They still there? Yeah. They were just laying down. Well, they keep going out of vision. Let's put Stevenson's skirms out just to make it easier for the artillery and for Hayes's brigade to see that unit. And since they're just out of range for Stevenson's brigade, how about you skirms go shoot at them too? Or not. I've just got Pierce in position over here. I don't want to initiate an attack across all this open ground. I need for them to commit to an attack elsewhere first. Just go ahead and bring Parsons' brigade up over here, where he's a little bit closer to Hayes' flank. Still firing. Still firing. Still firing. Skirms, fire at this guy. Or not. Well, they're still helping to maintain vision on it, so I'm just going to leave them there. Their brigade has been decimated. Okay, we got more customers coming down the road looking to buy what we're selling. Come on down, boys. Before they get there, I'm going to run some skirms kind of over into this area so they can deliver a little flanking fire. Yeah. Come on over here. Go. There's actually a lot of units up in here. I think this is really the main federal attack kind of forming up here. They got a little cohesion problem in the woods. I guess everything up till now has been kind of preliminary. This may be that army of Mississippi that has shown up, coming from a different spot. Oh, this guy's advanced. Doesn't seem to have been a very smart thing to do. Pull your skirms in. They're within range. I think they're in range now. That's what I gotta do to get Stevenson in range of somebody. No? Just barely out of range. Well, that's alright. I think he's going to have a lot more work to do over in this direction pretty soon. I'm amazed that brigade hasn't routed yet. Let's get Pierce into single line. And, well, we'll wait till he gets that order, and then I'm going to put those boys into long range. That's a full brigade. That's not skirms. Shit. Lay down. $2,600 to 135. That is exactly what Sterling Price needs to be doing in Missouri. Till hell freezes over, if necessary. Williams' enemy cavalry has left the battlefield. Okay, well, that's good. I'm not seeing any arrived messages for the Army of the Mississippi, so they must have been on the field at battle start. Glad I broke this into a different episode because this battle's turning out to be longer than I expected. Well, skirm's got to come in. Let's give all these guys long-range orders. Okay, you can see from the way that their brigades, what they're trying to do is all line up right through here and then full-scale advance. That's going to be difficult for them to do because they're going to have trouble getting those units formed up over here. And that may keep these units unengaged because their whole formation never quite comes together, and we are engaged over here. We have cover. This first brigade does not. Has already taken 750 casualties. Come on, Daniel. Daniel. Okay. I guess just the facing was enough. Okay, they're broken. Just a little bit of flanking fire is all that took. Let's move Pierce up a little bit more, about like that. I want to keep him in the woods. I think Price needs to kind of get to a more central position. That ought to do. These guys are marching forward. They're going real slow because they're tired and they're still in the woods. But I don't think they're attacking. I think they're just trying to get to where their designated positions are. And now they're doing it under artillery fire, and that's fine. Stevenson get turned back around this way. They can throw a whole bunch of brigades right here at Clark, but there's only the one ford. So I do want to kind of get his facing back where it ought to be. I had turned him this way earlier. Artillery's got good shots back up in here. That's good. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's give the Napoleons, if I can manage to do it without messing things up. Oh, they are coming forward now. Looks like they are. Okay. Let's go ahead and start advancing. Pierce's guys up in here. I don't know if he's going to have forest cover there. This batter needs to go to direct fire. Needs to be right up behind Stevens. Nope, don't get in there. Shit. So that he can quickly get onto the parapet. And Stevenson needs to be relieved. Yeah, this is the man attack. Pretty clearly. Pretty clear. The skirmishers are about to start putting some flanking fire on this brigade in the lead. I think Marmaduke. No, we just don't have too many brigades over here. I think Marmaduke better stay here. you want to do that? 2nd Brigade? Over here. Okay, here we are. Clark's skirms have already broken, it appears. And this guy's in the ford, taking 400 casualties so far. Sim's banging away here. Not sure at exactly what, but he's shooting at something. Well, is he? Yeah, he is. Okay. Not going too well for the Federals over here on the Aventine. That's going fine. He's taking some casualties, but he's doing a lot better than this guy is. Low cohesion coming out of that forest. Yeah, this attack is broken up. Do a weird maneuver there, but off you go. I don't feel like microlling that. Hopefully I don't take unnecessary casualties from that. Oops. Whatever skirms we've got over here, let's send them to go start harassing artillery. Cav over here has got more open ground to run around on. We're at 7,000 to 700. We're at 10 to 1. A little bit better than 10 to 1. And then he's going to formally enter the retreat phase just pretty much any time. Even though they had to reposition, I think our Napoleons did good work there. Come on, skirms. Let's get this artillery. There may be some 10-pounder parrots there we can capture. Yeah, this skirm. Go chase that guy. I don't want to send my guys across the fords here. These guys are tired. They're not broken. They could wind up getting in a little trouble. Well, got Marmaduke over here. I don't really see any good targets for him. Oh, they're probably just going to withdraw now, I think, and see what happens. Yeah. And that probably cost us the major. It was 22.0. So when you start the campaign, that threshold for minor major, and also I think the same threshold that triggers a retreat, is at 22%. But as the campaign continues, military experience slowly grows, and that influences that. Let me see. So that threshold is at 24% now. Anyway, 8,000 casualties to 737. He lost a few guns, not that many. We actually lost 10 guns. Yeah, you know what? We didn't really. That one battalion that was supposed to be low morale at the start. So basically what happened is somehow in a previous battle, that battalion had not shown up yet, got counted as routed, lost his guns, but he's still in the army with 0 guns. And so even at the beginning of this battle, he's still there. The unit is there without any cannon. And so I think this 10 lost guns, I mean, one of the other battalions may have lost 1 or 2. But I think these are primarily Johnson's guns. I need to just delete that unit and send another battalion to Price. I am curious to see how well our Napoleons did. Slacks to the... Oh, I'm on the wrong. 392 casualties, which, considering they had to move and I had to reissue orders and they set up late, and that's pretty good, actually, I think. Second Division, that is... Oh no, Pillow's division did the most and that makes sense. That's Ross, Stevenson, and Clark that were in the parapets. So to the extent that there was one, this is the division that took the majority, basically the brunt of the attack, such as it was. And they had a field day. And they took pretty light, well, everybody took light casualties. He took... 219 casualties total, having dealt 3,600. Is that 3,600? Yes. Nice job all around. Okay. So, that's all the... I don't see a way to turn that off since the battle ended. So they never really got a nice attack going in here. It was a little piecemeal, but I think that's because, you know, they were coming into contact, and then the units, you know, react to being in contact. You know, skirmishers and a little bit of cav all through here. It kept them discombobulated, and then he finally forms up, and yeah, it wasn't very effective, but how could it be, really, with these crossings and with the entrenchments? I'm a little surprised that they didn't come all the way over this way and try to attack over here. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, the AI was dumb. Well, didn't give it very many good options. So, no, I'm not going to hold that too much against it. Give them a pretty hard problem to solve. Now, if this were open over here, this, you know, take this creek away, and this parapet line, you know, this flank is just hanging out there, just begging to be attacked. And if you look at the way he was kind of coming, it's what he was trying to do. And that, I think, is a good indicator that what the AI tries to do as far as its basic plan isn't always really the problem. It's they have a rough time dealing with terrain, both in execution, the brigades, and then sometimes they seem to kind of come up with plans that make perfect sense on open ground. But it's like they don't see the river there. Anyway, I've talked long enough. And I've got the bug. I don't have the little play button down here. Which means I need to save the game and reload, and I may have to fight a little bit of the retreat phase. I don't know. But that will do for this episode. As I think I may have said earlier in the episode, I don't remember. If you like the content, if you like what we're doing, then leave a like, leave a comment. If you're new to the series, then I'm posting a link to the playlist right here so you can catch up on earlier episodes. At any rate, thank you very, very much for watching. I appreciate it.